Because females are just what they present to be, and men are what we present to be. We are the ugly truth. That's why we don't mind going outside with a scruffy beard. And the women are a beautiful lie. That's why they all got different color makeup. That's why they all come outside with a mask and a wig. Real shit. And they never hold their counterparts or their friends accountable. Right. And case in point, right. A female paying everything in a household. When they break up, man, that shit burn your PlayStation, right? You better not take anything I bought, right? 100%. Am I lying?
Yeah, you're right.
Reverse it. How many people we know from our perspective wouldn't give our grandmother's ring back?
Yeah.
How many we know from our perspective sitting there got half and half and half and blaming it on the betterment of the kids?
How long do you expect a man to deal with you before he actually makes it official?
I don't really care.
Like 5-6 months.
At least 4 months. I feel like 3 months is pretty reasonable.
3 months.
He don't have no months. He has 2 weeks to figure out what the fuck you want.
How long do you have to be dealing with a girl before you actually make her official?
Make her official? It take a little bit of time for me, bro.
A year. I can't put a time on it. I gotta put the vibe on it.
I usually give bitches 3 months, yo.
I'll say 3 months.
Maybe like 4 or 5 months.
At least a year.
4 years. I gotta get to know her.
Listen, I had Terrence Crawford. I had Shakur Stevenson on stream recently. They said they could beat you in a fight. Do you know who that is? Terrence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson?
In a fight, they can beat me. I woke the floor with both of them. In a fight?
Well, yeah, they said they could beat you up.
And like in MMA.
Well, I think they said boxing, chat, right?
Listen, if we are sharing this room right now, and we are like me, Crawford, and Shakur, and someone has to make the bet, what do you think is going to do?
Well,
both of them.
I think they said boxing.
They're going to help each other. There's boxers, I swear to God, they are so fucking weird.
The boxers?
Yeah, bro. Generally, like, what the fuck are you talking about? You only know one part of the fighting game, which is like boxing, but you don't know everything about it. Wrestling, the ground game, like, it's different. If I swear to God, if I have to go against both of them, I beat them ass.
I don't care. Tell him to come fight me.
Hold on a second. Aliens for you. So yeah, he wants to fight you.
Come fight me.
Yeah, tell him to come fight me.
Let's go, buddy. Whenever you want.
7, come on. 9. Double it. 1, 2. Hurt him. Hurt him. Hurt him. Hurt his body. 5 seconds. 5. 7. 2. 4.
Sounded good, like, you know, he's not the one that's in the ring fighting, so he could say everything that he want to say on camera and make it look good to the fans. But at the end of the day, if we're talking about us fighting each other, it will be Devin getting in the ring. So you're going to walk me down. You're going to do all of these things. It sounds good, but once again, we in 8-ounce gloves and anybody can be hurt.
What do you take from the sparring session that Bill kept going back to? I never watched the whole thing. I seen clips. He said that Devin walked you down. I don't even know what year that was. Like, what do you take from that sparring session back then? I know it was a long time ago.
Man, it's weird because it's like I don't take nothing from it. What I take from it is like we sparred plenty of times. So like, which time are you talking about? We can't. It ain't like we didn't spar so many different times. Did you choose that sparring session specifically that you felt like you did good in, that made you get confidence or something? Like, I just don't understand it. So, honestly, from what I took with the sparring and every session that I had with him, I always felt like I was the better fighter. I never felt like he was a better fighter than me or did anything better than me. The only thing that he ever had over me when we sparred was size. But him being the younger fighter, I was always ahead. Like, I was always like the big brother that was ahead of him mentally.
What is the fight that you think in your gut, if you had to choose right now, is more realistic, or the fight you think may get done? A Ryan Garcia fight or a Devin Haney fight? Both of those fighters are heavier than you, so there's going to have to be some concessions with the weight.
Honestly, I don't see neither happening at 147 pounds unless it's under the rehydration rules that I said. So, if not, I don't see that happening right now. Now, in the future, as I grow more and get more settled, maybe so. But as of right now, nah, I don't see it happening at that weight class. Now, Ryan Garcia, he said 144. If he's willing to do that, I'm willing to make the fight happen. But Ryan sounds more realistic, because he's being he's ready to move around.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that was Ryan's first world title. I'm looking how he celebrated, and I'm thinking like, this looked like this is his first world title. And I was like, that is his first world title. He's been a professional for, I think, 10 years.
I mean,
Great businessmen over there. But, bro, they know exactly what they're doing. The reason why they try to go up and get another champion at 54, right? You better choose Xander. You better choose Xander. Like, they know how to pick them, gang. Think about me. Let's talk about my track history. I didn't have to fight limos. Tyring had a whole nother opponent on the table. I fought limos. I chose limos. I didn't have to fight De Los Santos. I chose De Los Santos. These guys out here really choosing fighters that they really know they can beat. I can beat everybody, so I'm choosing anybody. That's the difference. Y'all need to wake up, bro. I'm really out here trying to fight any and everybody, bro. No cap. They can't. Nobody beat me. I'm the best in this sport, and I'm trying to show that. Let me show it, Devin. When I get myself in a real opportunity, I'm gunning for y'all. Super gunning for y'all. And when I see him at the weigh-ins, I see him at the weigh-ins for MSG. Right. I seen Bill. I walked up to Bill. I said what I said. And he told me to stand on it. And I said, after I knock Jermaine out, we gonna fight, right? I said that purposely because I'm the same person that was telling Jay Prince, after I knock Jermaine out, they not gonna wanna fight me. They gonna be like, nah, why I ain't get no call out? Why I ain't we ain't reaching out? And I know what's going on in real time too. They really don't want to fight me, bro. Which I understand. If I was in another man position seeing me, I probably wouldn't fight me neither. Thank God I'm me. Right? Thank God I'm
the guy. Thank God I'm
like,
me.
Who called me out since I fought? Honestly. Who was like, I want to fight him? I understand what's going on out here. They woke now. They woke. But nah, Devin, don't go pick on Xander.
But
I can go fight Xander. Don't go pick on Xander.
Hold up, and Devin
pick on me.
Hold up. We got to give credit to Devin for fighting Loma. You know what I'm saying? He has been calling everybody out. He fought Ryan.
You talking about the guy that fought Loma, that fought Jermaine Ortiz, had a good fight with him? That's what you talking about?
No, I'm saying still Lomachenko.
Listen, we can't say Devin Duncan.
Okay, I can't say it.
Because he's already has a track record of fighting those.
All right, man. We in here. What do you say? Hey, gang. We here, gang. Oh, young niggas, gang. We here, gang. The lingo so trash today, dog. But we're gonna talk about boots. We got a lot of moist. We got a lot of moist Philadelphia cream cheese Ennis fans who got mad because in the video I did, I said Ennis didn't really want to fight neither. I still feel that way. No, Boots don't really talk that much, and I ain't trying to hear that, dog. When you want something, if you see an attractive woman and you want her, you're going to go chop, regardless. You're going to go holler at her. So if you want something bad enough, he should have been, in my opinion, he should have been on Vergil Ortiz's head. He didn't hesitate to go jump on Team Canelo to ride that fucking Canelo train, did he? He didn't hesitate to go join Team Canelo. We going all gas, no brakes, man. We going straight in, bro. Straight in. We ain't no build up, ain't no introduction. We just cutting straight to it. That's my thing about it. He ain't said, "Oh, Boost don't talk." No, he need to talk. He should have smoked Vergil Ortiz out. It's like Teddy Atlas said, when two fighters holding on in the inside, they made a silent agreement. You won't punch, I won't punch. He should have been dragging Jaron. He should have been dragging Vergil Ortiz through the mud. Because when they said Vergil Ortiz, when they said Boost was ducking him, because he didn't move up in weight, they was dragging Vergil Ortiz's name. They was dragging Boost's name through the mud. Oh, he don't want to fight, and he ducking, and they wasn't sparing you. They wasn't sparing Jaron Boost, and his Boost should have been stumping Vergil Ortiz's name in the mud. And what you find out about most of these young fighters, especially in amateurs, they don't watch professional boxing. And what you find out, I think Cam and May spoke about this last week. I was hearing him talk about it, talking about that, he was getting to the point where you give young people advice and they just want to go the other way. They don't want to take the advice. They just not naturally, they just go the opposite way. And they was talking about in that episode how the kids today don't care nothing about professional sports. They say, well, college is more lit. They care more about college sports. Preferably, I'm really not a fan of either or no more, but I'm not going to dig into that, right? But most of these guys, they don't even want to be doing a profession that they're doing. You got people in the NBA who really don't want to hoop. You got people in the NFL who really don't want to, ball. You got people who, whatever the situation may be. We got a generation of men who don't want to work. That's why I say, man, maybe the war in the draft, maybe that ain't so bad. Maybe it ain't so bad, bro. And somebody got mad because Dwight Howard said that every citizen should do a year in the military. And I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at everybody should do a year in the military or have military type training or implement that into the curriculum because it's just getting too moist out here. It's getting too soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to me, the ambition of a hustler or the go-getter ambition is gone. You got people who have top jobs. They go, your life on a cooler. Of course, you go to the deep sea welders. They understand. Deep sea welders understand every time they go deep sea, their life get cut short. They understand the contract that they sign. These guys don't want to fight, bro. They don't love fighting. They don't want to do it. Boots was probably the kid that probably just wanted to play his Nintendo Switch and wanted to get into tech and be happy. He don't want to be a fighter. You can just look in his eyes. He don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? And Vergil Ortiz, you can tell he's just here to feed his family. It's not a want. It's not a drive to be the best. You don't see any ambition in either one of these guys when they come to this fight. Vergil Ortiz didn't speak out one time. Through all this happening, he let Rick Mir beat a mouthpiece. He ain't say nothing not one time. They made a silent agreement. They knew they wasn't fighting each other. Boots knew he was moving on. Vergil knew he wasn't fighting him. Regardless of how you feel, they made an agreement that they wasn't fighting each other, and that's a fact. Like it or not, that's my synopsis. They didn't want to fight each other. I hate to keep it a being with y'all. I can look at these dudes' eyes. They're not hungry, bro. They just here. They got overpaid. They're here to get paid, and that's it. Because ain't nobody gonna pull the shit that Vergil Ortiz pulled. Because we forgetting he asked for $7 million. Oh, Boots agree. What did Boots agree to if Vergil didn't agree to this split? So let's say they gave Boots $3 million, right? They gave him $3 million, and Vergil ended up getting $7 million off the deal. You think he gonna be happy with that? You think it ain't gonna be reneging or renegotiating? Or I need at least 6. I need at least 5. You think that wasn't going? So, like I continue to say, when we start getting into having these conversations, nobody showed the will. Nobody showed the ambition. Nobody popped the shit. I ain't trying to hear that respectful shit. When he got into the ring, he started, I'm gonna make you pay. He should have been keeping that pressure. Even the pussy of the pussies got, egos. Maybe Vergil and like, fuck it. He talking so much shit, man. All right, Oscar, we can do this, man. I got to do this. Strap my, but I think it was cahoots. I think the only person that probably really wanted to fight was Eddie Hearn. I think Eddie Hearn was the only one that really wanted to fight. You can tell, you can look in Eddie Hearn's eyes, you can tell in his mannerism that he wanted to fight. And this ain't, I'm a Vergil fan or Jaron. I don't give a fuck if neither one of them exists. I don't dislike neither one of them. But if I was a betting man, I haven't done no film, I think I would pick Vergil Ortiz to win this fight. I think I would pick Vergil. It's just a hunch. If I watch the film and they fight and I watch the film, my opinion may change drastically. But if I'm picking somebody, just say who you gonna pick off I pick Vergil. But I tend to pick the more safe fighter, usually the more experienced fighter, usually the fighter I know more about. There's too many question marks about Boots that I don't know. What he got, 34 fights? I don't know. I know about Vergil. I know Vergil can take a punch for the most part. I know Vergil, he can pick it up. He got, he gets stronger through the fight. We know he can take a punch. We know he can give a punch. We know more about him. Boots, you know, I mean, and obviously you could say, well, you know, we seen with Kieran Turkachan ain't nothing like Vergil Ortiz ain't nothing like Turkachan. Boots got 35 fights, 31 knockouts. But I still have questions. He remind me of Gary Anton Russell or Gary Russell Jr. before he fought Lomachenko. Yeah, Gary Russell Jr. What had? What we researched the other day, he had 20, 22 fights at that point. Lomachenko had 1-1 or 2-1 going into that fight, and Lomachenko beat his ass. Quality over value. But, you know, in my opinion, I just feel that, and this is just my opinion, Vergil Ortiz didn't want, neither one of them wanted to fight. And it made sense. Wasn't no title on the line. You know, if we wait, we can get more money. And it was just too many silent agreements. Vergil never stood up for himself before it became a legal battle. Jaron didn't apply pressure. You know, it was just like the only thing keeping this fight alive was Oscar, Merritt going against each other. Eddie, I don't know what's going on. I just even with the boxing apocalypse going on, I had somebody in my comment section talking about, oh, boxing popping right now. Do you know what popping boxing look like? It don't look like this. It's not popping. When you start getting the fights that you want to see, that's when it's popping. And we rarely get the fights that we want to see. Let's talk about the grade A fights that you got when you wanted to see them. I can't really think of none. I can't really think of none, respectfully. Everything being used and abused. Everything is you getting from the thrift store, St. Vincent de Paul, the Goodwill, Salvation Army ass fights. And kind of talk about, now I get to this towards the end or the middle of the video, you start talking about Ryan and you start talking about Devin. The first fight didn't sell. Did we not fucking forget that? The first fight didn't sell. Remember, they was talking about suing Oscar, and Oscar was like, y'all didn't get no money on the back end. Nobody bought it. Y'all forget that? That shit ain't popping, bro. A whole bunch of niggas talking about what they will gonna do. And while Shakur go do something else, Ryan go do something else, Rolly go do something else, and Devin go do something else. But back on this, I mean, where do Boots go from here now? Because well, Kelly and you know, Kelly and I don't think Josh Kelly would match room. So what Kelly and Xander Zayas gonna do? That's a great question. What they gonna do? You know, Boots hold the interim WBA title. You know, it's a great question. Will the WBA order Boots to fight Xander Zayas? Let's talk about it. Will it happen? Where do Vergil Ortiz go from here? I guarantee you the game plan is to wait till Boots lock something in, then come to a kumbaya agreement, hug it out, avoid the Boots fight, come to an agreement. I'm going to wait till I play out my Golden Boy contract in year 2 or 3, and then we'll revisit the Boots fight. Oh, I got to move up to 160. I can't make the weight no more. Boots got to come up to 160. Them motherfuckers don't want to fight, man. No, Mexican pride is a myth in this generation. Mexican pride is a myth. It's a myth. You know, ain't no different. You know, it ain't no different than dealing with skeezers. The late, great Biz Marquis, they caught the vapors. Look at Isaac Cruz. Back then, Shakur said, let's fight. Nah, Shakur's boring. I don't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. Now Shakur Stevenson up. You ever heard that song by Gucci Mane on Riding on the Wall too? I'm up. Shakur Stevenson, he up. Now Isaac Cruz caught the vapors. Now Isaac Cruz want to fight. Oh, you know, you play Shakur Stevenson now. I never know who I fight the yeah. Suck my left Christmas ornament. Come on, man. Get off my sleigh. It's always funny, man. They always expect, you know, melanated people to turn the other cheek. No, back when I want, like, that's my whole thing, man. This shit, if I'm in control, it's on my time and my dime. Flat out. You know? But when they up, you gotta, you know, scratch and claw, and you gotta move up 3 weight classes. You gotta let them Jews. You got, you know, no, this whole, Hector run boxing. They didn't invent it and they never perfected it. So I don't really understand, we got to have fights on the Vegas and we got to have fights in Southern California. Fuck that. They started doing fights in Ohio. They started back doing real fights in Detroit, Philadelphia, the tri-state area. They really started banging back out DC. Shit, you can go to Louisville, Kentucky and do a fight. You will be surprised how much more money they do. They cater to Hispanics by what? I don't understand why. I just don't understand why they cater to Hispanics so much. Think about it. The majority of the fights, the major cards in Vegas and Southern California, them motherfuckers don't even go Northern California. And really, that's where the sponsorship is at. When you start talking about Tech Valley and Silicon Valley, Texas is always the same shit. Okay, we've been banging out these same spots for the last 20, 30 years. Where's boxing going? No growth. I remember watching the Hector Camacho documentary. I always recommend people watch it. This dude was fighting in Alaska. What about doing a fight in Puerto Rico? I mean, not Puerto Rico, in Hawaii. Come on. You got places like Arkansas who don't got nothing going on. Louisville, Kentucky don't have nothing going on. A major fight card in New Mexico. Nashville is the white Atlanta. They don't do enough fights in Atlanta. You feel what I'm saying? They do the same ass little rinky dink ass venues and wonder why the sport don't grow. But once you look at it, and I read the technical part of if you watch the video I did this morning, I read the technical part. It ain't saying nothing. They got to go to arbitration. We looked it up. Arbitration can be anywhere from 1 to 16 months. Guarantee you when Boo's tied a knot on this next fight, and I'm pretty sure they already know who they fight in their next fight. And Eddie Hearn promised it'll be a big fight. Then you'll see Golden Boy and Vergil Ortiz hug it out, and he'll be back in the ring. All right, I already know what it is. I feel like from Vergil Ortiz standpoint, this was a plot to get out the Vergil Ortiz fight. I hope the zone ain't stupid enough to still grant them, fights on the zone. And Oscar De La Hoya is talking about, yeah, we do big. What big fights have De La Hoya delivered for you? De La Hoya, has sat here, jumped in the game, put a promotional hat on. It's been one of the worst things happening in boxing. He's became the very same snake that they used to talk shit about Bob Arum. Him and Floyd have been representing nothing good for boxing on the business end. Floyd basically finessed a lot of fighters into believing Al Heyman was a good guy to sign with and got everybody fucked out of money. And De La Hoya ain't done nothing but boxing, but what has he done? As a promoter, what's he done? Call a few blacks some niggas. Come on, Cap back Thursday, none but Cap has a sexual lust for Dana White. What has he done? Freeze you black media members out, and when he needs y'all, what I'm saying, he'll call y'all back. Oh, I'll give you a credential the day before. His rinky-dink ass cars, his cars is lame. Tuesdays and Thursdays, don't give a fuck about them lame ass cars. I don't care about a Rocha, but Barboza, I don't care about them little rinky-dink ass cards. That Latino fight card he had, didn't care about it, didn't watch it, didn't care. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. What does Oscar contributed other than, sticking Al Heyman popsicle up his ass and, getting finessed out a bunch of fighters? What does he contribute to the sport? Pissed off Canelo, pissed off Ryan, pissed off Vergil, held black fighters back like James the Beast Wilson. What has he done? Bernard Hopkins was supposed to be the black PR part of the promotional company. He's done nothing. Shane was his man. But as soon as the, Ryan Garcia thing came around, they started throwing Shane under the bus. Shane is a drug addict. Shane is this. Shane was cheating. Instead of standing on Ryan Garcia, they threw Shane Mosley up under the bus. I ain't forget. It's always Jermaine's fault. Even Hector and Maria, it's always Jermaine's fault. Come on, man. Ain't no Mexican pride. That shit died with Chavez. Felipe Lopez, Salvador Sanchez, Egg Morales, Marco Antonio Barrera, Weimar Marquez. Most of them motherfuckers would have lost to Pacquiao and never rematched them, let alone 3 or 4 times. They wouldn't have went through that once. They don't go out on their shield. They don't no more. Ain't no pride in being a bitch. And they just bitches, dog. Not too many fighters is bitches now, man. You had 10 years. Going on July, you had 10 years to get a world title. We're not trying to hear that excuse. And you're going to come out, you know, in the business. They're going to come out playing a role, playing a motherfucking limited series on Netflix like they don't know what happened. You know exactly what happened. You never wanted to fight. I deserve $7 million. What do Vergil Ortiz deserve $7 million for? Didn't sell no tickets your last fight. Nobody's going to sue nobody. Everybody going to be cool. All this was a charade to Doug Jaron Ennis. They don't believe in a fighter. And if you don't believe in him fighting Jaron Ennis in 2026, and who Boots going to fight to prove that he true? He fight Xander Zayas, he 2 packs of ass. He double mint twin packs of ass. Oh, what's the other guy that got a belt? Josh Kelly ass. And then Sebastian Fondor, man, shit. That's the only real test. And you think Boots gonna mix it up with Fondor? I heard Boots' daddy fight another fighter lost the other night to Alexis Rocha. You think they're gonna get in the blender with Sebastian Fondor? Fondor ain't getting in with Boots. Boots ain't getting in with Fondor. So where's the test coming at? When you look up the ranks, where the test coming at? Take the test, but not take the test. Do it for the Boots. Boots ain't gonna get tested for a long time. Vergil Ortiz ain't gonna get tested for a long time. They gonna fight when they 30-something years old. I'm telling y'all, man. I know duckonomics, bro. I know duckonomics. These dudes ain't fighting no time soon. It's nobody to fight, respectfully. Now, people can arrive. You know, challengers can come out of nowhere. There's nobody to fight. Look at 54. If he don't fight Fondor, who else is there to fight? Come on, who? You go up one weight class. Who else is there to fight? Lara Jenovic, he still can be champion. I did read it right on live. They suspended him, but he's still the WBO champion. He's still the IBF champion as of now. Adames, like, it's nobody to fight. He fighting Austin Williams. There's nobody to fight. As of right now, there's nobody. Who gonna fight Eric Priest from Texas? Gonna fight Eric Priest. Gonna fight Eric Priest. He gonna do fight White Magic, White Tragic. I didn't know he was only 23 years old. Shout out to White Magic. Who you gonna fight? Jai Tucker? Come on, man. They don't. Omari Jones? They don't plan on. Vergil and Jaron Ennis don't plan on fighting nobody. They want to get some easy belts, bro. They don't plan on fighting absolutely nobody, bro. Boots gonna be 45-0 and still untested. Vergil Ortiz, and Boots is 28 right now. Vergil Ortiz, he be 29 June 26. These dudes' physical prime is going right by them. Vergil Ortiz right now, he'll be 28 this month, March 25th. He'll be 28 years old. This is comical. Respectfully, what they're doing is comical, dog. Turkey ain't changed a damn thing. They don't want to squabble. Squabble up. They don't want to squabble. So it ain't no surprise to me, dog. Ain't no surprise to me. I think it's a 50. I think damn near, if anything, a 50-50 fight. This is a 50-50 fight. If anything is a 50-50 fight, this is a 50-50 fight. Respectfully, if anything is 50-50, and they just, Boots is going, who was Boots fought for to make you think he going to run through Vergil Ortiz? We don't even know if the nigga can take a punch. We don't even know if he can take a punch. And I just see in his eyes, he ain't no fighter, bro. I just look at his eyes and I can tell he ain't no fighter, bro. He don't want this. He was somebody that wanted to do something else. His daddy made him box. I can just look and tell, bro. Tank is another dude. He had no option. Couldn't read his way out the hood. Couldn't read his way out the hood. Couldn't be a scholar out the hood. This was his only way to get out the hood. You don't even see hunger in the athlete in the men's eyes no more. Like I said, you don't see ambition in their eyes no more. That is crazy. You don't see hunger. You don't see even in sports, with them giving participation trophy awards, everything they putting in the food, you don't even they don't. It's not even the hunger for competition, bro. There's no more alphas left, bro. Don't nobody want to be him. If you anything but the 80s, early 90s and behind, late 80s. Early 80s, late 80s, maybe early 90s, millennial, man, that shit is gone, bro. Y'all rather make silent agreements. Y'all rather be friends. Y'all rather be friends than compete against each other. You see it with Hitchison. You see it with Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Steve. We're friends and we don't want to fight. Okay, you got some niggas that's your enemies. Why you ain't fighting them? And guess what? People gonna remember you for these fights that you're doing, right? People gonna remember you for making great fights and classic fights. You're gonna be able to eat off your classic fights for the rest of your life. But what you're not gonna be able to eat off this little bit of money you got that's gonna be gone. This little bit of money they getting, that shit gonna be gone, bro. It's gonna be gone. Hear me out. That money gonna be gone. If Floyd can go and drop all that money that Floyd lost, bro, what you think gonna happen to these dudes? It's too much softness in their eyes, bro. It ain't no hunger. It ain't no killers in boxing no more, dog. And they talk, some of them talk like killers. They talk with a lot of confidence. But when they get in the ring, they'll be in there with a racist. They'll be in there with somebody that assaulted their mother, and they won't even try to give them that work. They won't even try to send them to the upper room. They won't even try to harm them. They won't try to assault them. They give everybody a G-pass. That's why the motherfuckers should probably go to the military, respectfully. I agree with Dwight Howard. A lot of these niggas, man, they need military, man. They need military. I seen a few videos, man, where the woman is whooping the nigga's ass. Straight up fade, bro. Are we just weak? Or when you start to see the athletes are weak, when you start to see the athletes are getting emasculated, bro, and they don't want to compete, ain't no alpha males, ain't no sigma males, ain't no predators, ain't no hunters. Everybody just respect each other. You got a Glock 40, you got an AK-47, you got an extra clip, you got a couple of grenades on you, you got a switchblade on you. We all got the same artillery. But ain't nobody want to prove that they the baddest motherfucker around. It's just an agreement. Oh, you stay over there and I stays over here and we can just be friends and we don't have no disagreements. Ain't nobody trying to prove that they the baddest motherfucker, man. Turkey need to put that belt up. Ain't nobody trying to prove they the baddest motherfucker around. They say, oh, I just want to prove that I'm the best. No, you don't. Because if it's verbally abusing Vergil Ortiz to get this pussy cat to come out the house, you're gonna verbally abuse him to get him to come out the house. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. If you want it bad enough, you're gonna do whatever you need to do to get these dudes to come out the house. What Mo3 say? They scared to come outside. You gonna make them come outside. I'm a huff and puff until I blow your little motherfucking house down. I'm telling y'all, them niggas got a silent handshake agreement that, hey, man, we supposed to be brothers, man. We're fighting 2033, man. And it'd be worth more money, man. I'm going to shit on these niggas as long as I can. Real talk. Well, Boost signed his deal. Boost ain't do his part. Nigga, Boost should have been putting belt to ass on this nigga verbally every day on Twitter. He should have been putting belt to ass. He should have been doing videos. And then another thing, this bootlicking ass nigga didn't even address that boy calling you a fucking monkey. That's crazy to me, dog. They don't even have no motherfucking pride in themselves no more. called you a fucking gorilla and he ain't never spoke on it? Well, I do look like I do look like a gorilla. Yeah, I do. I did an ancestry test and I got 4% gorilla in me. Yeah, so he kind of was right, man. Niggas don't have no self-respect. Nigga on his hands and toes, the hands and knees to beg Daddy Canelo to come spar with him and all this. These niggas don't have no self-respect no more as black people, man. Y'all feel like I'm wrong for thinking like that? If y'all feel like I'm wrong, I respect y'all's opinion. If I feel like I'm wrong like that, bro, I'm wrong. But I don't feel like I'm wrong. I don't feel like, oh, y'all just be your monkey. I'm your gorilla. Like, damn, nigga, when niggas start standing up for themselves and respecting their pride, bro? What happened? What happened? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just out of touch. Black Jericho salute. Thurman looks so bad, man. And I got a video. Thurman talking big shit about Fondora too. Booty Ennis. I had to ride that again. Ready after 2 tune-ups. Boots unconfident. Boots supposed to be making skits like Keyshawn and shit, man. I'm telling you, Jay Hardaway, salute. Mark Nash, shout out to the 404. Man, I'm so disappointed in Atlanta Hawks for doing Magic City Monday, bro. I'm so disappointed in that shit. What's wrong with you niggas? What's wrong with you niggas? I'm going to fix the mixer, dog. I'm going to fix it, bro. I'm going to sit down one day and I'm going to figure it out. He said, no way he should have fought Lima Bean before Ortiz. I mean, it is what it is. I forgot that fight even happened. I don't even think I watched that shit. I think it was like 5 seconds, wasn't it? He said, I would have been a payday for Eddie. Yeah. So I haven't seen a more convoluted attempt to duck a fight in my life. Team Ortiz just pulled off. I'm telling you, bro, you see the play like I just seen the play. People want Boots versus Charlo. Nah, I don't give a hell. Charlo suck dick for a payday at this point. And I say that with all due respect. This nigga begging there. I don't care. Like, for Boots, why would I want to fight Charlo? What does that prove? All the risk is on you. This last time we seen this nigga, he was taking a knee and it wasn't for fucking George Floyd. So my whole thing is, what do you get for beating Boots and for beating Charlo? He don't bring no fans to the crowd. He don't bring no visibility. What do you get for beating him? He ain't been in the ring in how many years? That ain't nothing but risk. I would rather, and I know it's out of his hand, I would rather fight Vergil Ortiz before I fight Charlo. If you lose to Charlo, nigga, you done. But, at the end of the day, it's a name. I don't care to see it, But if you whoop on Charlo, you're supposed to. If you lose to Charlo, if you want to see it, I don't give a fuck. If they can afford the $5 million that Charlo won't, hey, shout out to bro. Vergil might be waiting for Fondor Thurman winner. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Why wouldn't you want to fight Boots before? I don't know. I don't know with Fondor. Only thing he made happen was Tank and Garcia. Was that Eddie or Oscar? Oscar, shit. They needed each other. So everything else has been piss poor in Ring Magazine belt. Yeah, I've been stopped respecting the ring. Fuck what Bud talking about. As soon as a promoter had a Ring Magazine, it doesn't hold the importance no more. Fuck what he talking about. So you got power players like Oscar De La Hoya control the ring. It lost its luster. You got power, and they said a lot of bigotry, a lot of racist shit while they had the Ring Magazine too. So that make you think they ratings really where their ratings is at, And I was watching somebody was doing an interview. What's the dude Teray he was letting these brats say the N-word around like dog. These niggas, man, dog. Boy, if it come down to a race war in America, dog, man, oh man, it's some of these dudes that, some of these dudes, man, they can't be over in this foxhole. Absolutely not. I'm sorry. Some of these niggas I'm not fighting next to. So, Kid Bustle, some of these niggas I'm not fighting next to, dog. Whitlock, I popped as soon as Whitlock. Yeah, you need some pow, pop Whitlock, shit. Remember how Cheese did Slim Charles did Cheese in the Wire? Man, a bunch of them niggas gotta go down. Like, I just ain't no apologizing for some of the shit these niggas do. I ain't no apologizing for it, dog. Ain't no apologizing for some of the shit that these black males be doing, man. I don't even know why niggas thought that fight was. Hey, you ain't lying. I knew it wasn't it, man, bro. I seen the play, bro. Boots finna fight. I don't even think he gonna fight Josh Kelly. I think Josh Kelly and Xander Zayas gonna fight each other. He said, told me this was the best division when Bud went to. It just was just like, man, that division is, man. Fondor, man, I don't even want to talk about it, bro. It was a great division at first. I don't know, fam. It's a lot of legends who don't still eat off their classic fight. No, I mean, of course they don't eat off of them. Bob and them do. Evander Holyfield able to lose $400 million and still sustain a lifestyle because of what he did. Mike Tyson was able to lose $500 million in the 90s and come back and get most of it back. Like Coach Malachi said earlier, Roy Jones was able to come through and almost had a pay-per-view record, top 3, 4 in grossing pay-per-view sales with Mike Tyson. Why? There's a name. Jake Paul able to get money, whole bunch of money with Mike Tyson because of the name. You're going to be a legend forever. You know, what these niggas' autographs going to be worth? Nothing. But people going to be like, oh, remember you was in that fight? Never, nothing. Muhammad Ali was able to sell his name, his rights to his name and retire comfortably. You know, George Foreman lost it all. Why did George Foreman get it back? Because he had a name. He had losses when he came back. Yeah. He was able to get a Foreman was a name. Larry Holmes, when he fought Mike Tyson, they took old Larry Holmes off the fucking couch. He was retired and put him in. He got a payday virtually. Once you always establish yourself as a household name, you'll always be able to get money. You always get money. Always. But you ain't a household name, you go get no money. But these niggas is never gonna get money. They don't have no classics. That's like if you have a classic song, you gonna have a classic. Sir Mix-a-Lot can come out. He owned Baby Got Back. He can come out and perform Baby Got Back and probably get 20, 30 G's a show. He got a couple other songs too, but he probably come out and get 20, 30 G's for a show 20 years, 30 years later. Come on now. Come on. This is why AC/DC can still perform the same songs. That's why Kiss can still perform the same songs 10, 20, 30 years later. He said, you're correct. It's sickening, my brother. It is. Shout out to Bruce. He said, just going to ignore background saying he an ape. Bruce took it as a compliment. This shit is wild. Y'all niggas is wild. He took it as a compliment. Yeah, some of these dudes ain't socially aware, dog. Salute. He said, not wrong. He said, I don't know who that is. Mike B, I don't even know who that is, bro. This is no disrespect. Everybody reported on this except YSN. Like, what the fuck Boost doing next? I mean, beating Jamil is 10 times better than his. I mean, that's fair. That's fucking fair. I ain't arguing. That goes for everyone at 54 except for 30. I mean, yeah. I was looking at Fondor. I don't know if I'm gonna release the Fondor Keith Thurman video I did today. Tomorrow depends on what happened. But yeah, I mean, Fondor resume kind of 2 packs of ass. Respectfully. Fondor resume kind of 2 packs of ass. So you ain't lying. You ain't lying about that. You are not lying about that. You are not lying about that. So I can't even dispute you. I can't even dispute you on that one. But yeah, but then you got, Devin Haney chasing Ryan Garcia. This kind of sickening. Talking about Ryan. I just seen it when he was on the zone saying, Ryan needs to be realistic in his negotiating. And I'm just like, what? Like, bro, his tickets were just 50% off. Why are you even negotiating with terrorists? The real talk. That's crazy to me. So, now it's to the point where they going back and forth in the media, and he feel like, I can fight, Shakur, I can fight Devin, so I can pit both against each other and get leverage. We all don't even understand, Ryan Garcia probably don't plan on beating either one of you guys. But if I lose to Shakur, then come back and fight Devin, I get 2 paydays and I can walk away. You know, and that, you know, and to me, that's crazy. That's crazy that these guys still don't see the play. They still chasing Hector. And it needs to be studied. Instead of Shakur and Devin getting money with each other, or Devin fighting Keyshawn, which we all know Keyshawn got the best pump fake since Paul Pierce retired, and Shakur saying, well, I'm going to go do something else and I'm going to fight this guy. What Ryan Garcia going to do, especially if Rolly get the fights is mandatory, what he going to do then? Y'all don't understand holding the line, freezing somebody out, being on cold. You know? Because think about it, somebody cheating you in the fight, and in reality, everybody still treated you like you lost. What's the point of continuing to fight? And we didn't get no pay-per-view money. We lost money. What's the point? You know, is it the biggest fight in boxing? If that's the biggest fight in boxing, boxing down bad then. You know, and you know, Devin Haney was answering the question. I try to find the clip. Devin Haney was answering the questions respectfully, and you know, oh, Ryan did what he had to do. Like, it's like, dude, you in the driver's seat. You're ranked number 1 in the Ring magazine. Come on. You're number 1 in the Ring magazine. Why are you chasing the guy whose survival hinges on the black audience that he disrespected? I seen a brother, his name is Dewan B. He talked about that. His channel was Dewan B. He talked about it. He was talking about how, you know, Ryan Garcia fight didn't do well. When you disrespect the black community, you know, it shows. His fight didn't do well. It didn't do well. They had 50% off tickets, 10% off the pay-per-view. Why isn't people saying, well, what was the Ryan Garcia pay-per-view numbers? Or what was Ryan Garcia gate numbers? How many people tuned in? Why didn't we see this be so when Tank be fighting, or when Devin fights somebody, or brothers get money together, where the pay-per-view money? It ain't even hour after fight. Where the pay-per-view numbers at? Where the gate numbers at? How many tickets they sell? How many tickets they comp? That's what you used to hear. But Ryan Garcia tickets is 50% off, 10% off, 10% off. You know, for pay-per-view, there ain't no talks about that. There ain't no talks about it. Nobody is asking for a gate. Nobody asking for a key to the gate. Nobody asking for numbers. 793, nothing.
He's a monster. You are the welterweight champion and a man in demand right now in that division. But the man you said you want is Ryan Garcia. Is that the fight you're looking for next?
Yeah, I mean, it has a storyline. It has the bad blood. It's a unification now. And it's the biggest fight in boxing. So it's a perfect fight to be made. And right now is the time.
What did you think of Ryan's performance?
I thought Ryan did what he was supposed to. I figured he would do that against Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios was a perfect opponent for Ryan.
Do you think it's going to be different with you the second time around?
Definitely.
Like I said, at a Mexican event, kissing a Mexican's ass. So we understand why they feel the way they feel. All of this is because a lot of these brothers don't want to fight each other. I'm gonna keep pushing the truth. A lot of these brothers don't want to fight each other, and I get it. But they gonna keep chasing Hector validation. Even though all the signs is there, the gate wasn't there. The pay-per-view numbers now. He can fight Pitbull Cruz and won't, 3 pit bulls won't show up to watch a fight. They won't turn the pay-per-view. Nothing. He not hot without y'all. If y'all ignore him, y'all freeze him out. And think about it. Shakur fought T.O. First thing T.O. do. As soon as he turned his back, he showed T.O. all this love. Or T.O.'s by himself, and I want my daughter to play with his son. I don't think T.O. racist. First thing T.O. do to that bootlicker. What first thing he do to him? The fight was scripted. He took away from your victory. He took away from your victory. All that ass kissing, all that extending the olive branch, and bringing him a bouquet of fucking sunflowers and showing him love and giving us flowers and showing love and defending his character when there's no reason to defend his character. What's the first thing he did? He took a number 2 on your head. And Devin Haney doing the same thing. Well, I think it's the best fight in boxing, and I think that Ryan, fuck Ryan. It's the best way to get Ryan. You want to be a streamer? Yeah, I ain't fighting him. Get it out the mud. You go fight Pitbull Cruz and see how much money you get. Go fight Rob Early and see how much money you get. That's the best way to turn somebody's water off. And then you got to be looking at Turkey kind of funny too. Like, okay, shit, you putting this motherfucker on all these TV shows and on the front street on Ring Magazine, and you don't care what he did, what he said about my people. I ain't heard one story. I ain't hear him apologize. T.O. at least apologize. I ain't hear the motherfucker apologize or nothing. Y'all been part of the assassination of Devin Haney brand on Ring by allowing this whole ass nigga to act like he ain't do nothing. Now, he's never admitted to it publicly, but he copped the deal with the New York State Athletic Commission instead of fighting the case. If you ain't do it, why you ain't fight the case with the New York State Athletic Commission? They gonna forever feel like, oh, I'm gonna just kiss their ass. And if it's a better time in boxing to shake free and do your own thing and make your own storyline and take the sport back, fight each other. Fight each other. He needs y'all, but y'all making it seem y'all need him. It's like I was hearing something that somebody was saying they would train the elephants, or I forget what it was. They was training the elephants on the circus, and the elephants would be scared of something, and even though they would get big enough to overcome it, or they still would be scared from the fear that was established in the beginning of their life, or whatever the way that they disciplined them. It's the same thing with these dudes. They believe these old lies, man. Only thing that really can compete with black fighters on a financial scale, if they get a superstar or a crew of Brads, some badass Brad fighters that can come in here and they can make a bunch, and America get behind them. That I can get that. They come out here with a dog ass white boy that's a motherfucker, and he bad motherfucking, and people get behind him like they got behind Gary Cooney, or people get behind him like they probably got behind Rocky Marciano and all that type of shit. Hell yeah. Great white hope. But the great Hector, nah, bro, that's a facade, bro. That's a facade. Shit don't exist, bro. Come on. It's the highest grossing Hector you could think of, because it ain't been no heavyweight. All the heavyweights dominate. To this day, when you look up that grand scale, the top 10 grossest fight, yeah, you got Mayweather, McGregor, Mayweather, Pacquiao #1, but you got Roy Jones and Mike Tyson in there. You got Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield in there. You got some, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why a lot of those numbers are screwed or not higher amongst heavyweights is because a lot of that shit happened before inflation. If you inflate their numbers, they #1. They killed the division. And the Klitschko's came and killed the division. When James Toney didn't get his paws on the Klitschko's, it hurt. So, for them, it's going to be the same old, bro. And what I'm so passionate about this part is these niggas approaching 30. Your physical prime is gone. I don't care what they say. Your physical peak is gone. When you ain't about 29, 30, that shit is gone. You don't see the fall off till later, because a lot of them motherfuckers gonna be an old 29, old 30, old 31. Niggas' hands already hurt. Niggas throw 2 punches in a row. They fucking paw hurt. Y'all don't understand that when they draining themselves to get down to 135, 126, 140, that shit catch up. Watch Benavidez. Benavidez is probably going to lose to a guy in no time soon, I would believe, but Benavidez is going to lose to a guy you ain't see coming. It's gonna be a punch that come out of nowhere. The punch ain't gonna look like it hurt. He been cheating the game too much, bro. He been sucking down, killing himself. To his body is going to fail him at some given point, regardless of what he put in his body. At some point, it's gonna fail him. The damages are it's irreversible damage when you weight drain yourself. You drain fluid out the body. Your body needs water. Once you take fluid out the brain and you put punishment on top of that, your fucking brain is a prune. Telling you that right now. A lot of these fighters, once you start seeing, you starting to see them break down now. Once you start to see 30, 31, 32, they're going to start, getting hit by fight punches that they usually be able to take or they usually be able to evade. And you're going to see a lot of these motherfuckers start hitting the canvas. A lot of these motherfuckers going to start getting upset and losing to people because they ain't going to fight nobody. They going to start losing to motherfuckers you never thought they was going to lose to. And the way them motherfuckers be losing and they bullshitting, I got 20 fights, 29, 30. Bro, they're going to take a year off and it's going to be a wrap. I'm telling you exactly how this shit going to go. I'm telling you exactly what the lick read on this one. If I got any questions, I'll answer if I got it. But I'm telling you exactly what the lick is. When you drain yourself that bad, the way they was draining themselves to be 2 or 3 weight classes, draining themselves to make weights they shouldn't have made weights, you're going to see, and it happens before in boxing. You never see it coming, bro. You're like, well, they got old overnight. And a lot of times they probably can see it in the gym. I'm not in the gym with them. You know what I'm saying? Shane looked like he was halfway solid. After he didn't knock Floyd out, he looked old after that. And he looked old after that. A lot of times he come when you least. I remember watching Jonathan Banks fight Seth Mitchell. And he hit Seth Mitchell with a punch, man, he never recovered in his career from that punch. Seth Mitchell was never the same. When Brian Jennings started getting clipped, he was solid and he started getting clipped. And it's heavyweight. He didn't react the right way. Wilder and Fury took each other out. You think Fury fall off ain't got nothing to do with blowing up and cutting weight, It had a lot to do with that. It had a lot to do with it. When you think about it, when you fight 4 times a year, let's just say you fight one hard fight and, one mandatory and let's just say 2 semi-hard fights, whatever. That you ain't got to spar as much. Most of these motherfuckers sparring 120 rounds. They in and out of shape a year, but you constantly fighting, bro. You got less than wear and tear on your body. You don't have to run as many miles. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to have these long 12 to 10 to 12 week training camps. You constantly in and out of camp. And what do they say? The fight is easier than the camp. And you having these long camps from a year and a half layoff, you blowing up, cutting weight, blowing up. Of course, you'll never see the best version. You'll never see the best version of the fighters in this era. They don't fight enough. How can you master something if you don't have a repetition in the ring? Yeah, you got the but you got the on hands training and shit. You know what I'm saying? But until you get into the field, they don't have enough fights. How can you say a motherfucker better than Sugar Ray Robinson? That motherfucker got 120 something fights. How? Got 40 fights, nigga. Like, come on. Regardless if you undefeated or not, come on. Motherfuckers retiring with 60, 70, 80 fights. How you better than them? Respectfully. They had to stay in shape every year. They had to fight 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year. They had to. And they was able to do it because they didn't spend their time in the gym sparring and having fat camps and sparring and taking abuse. They didn't do 1,000 rounds of sparring. Think about it. Let's say a motherfucker do, I don't know. Let's say he do 100, 120 rounds of sparring for a camp. You know what I'm saying? If you fighting, you ain't got to spar. You probably spar even 20 rounds. I just fought in March. I just fought in January. I'm about to come back and fight in April. You got to spar. You already know what it is. You got to take that abuse. You cutting weight. You cutting 20, 30 pounds and then getting beat on and sparring. It's like, come on, man. It's crazy, bro. They punish themselves. You never going to see the best version of Devin Haney. You never going to see the best version of Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. None of these motherfuckers, Ryan Garcia, none of them, they don't fight enough. They don't fight enough. They don't fight enough. I'm gonna die on that hill. They don't fight enough. They don't fight enough. They don't have the experience to even be in the same vein as some of these fights. How many fights do Vergil Ortiz got? Been a pro 10 years coming up in January. He got 24 fights, homeboy. He got 24 fights, bro. 24. He been a pro 10 years. 2.4, 2 point something fights a year. You know what I'm saying? Just start to think about these dudes, bro. You can't be the best version of yourself if you ain't fighting. I'm gonna keep saying that, dog. But that's just me. Except for every Tyson and Roy, it's 100 Gerald McClennan's, Frank Bruno's, Rocky Lockridge, Leon Spinks, 30 for 30 chasing Hector is too funny. So you guys named are exceptions to the rules. Exceptions to the rules. I mean, they made a household name. They made a household name. You can go throughout history. Sugar Ray Robinson had clubs. Joe Louis. You know what I'm saying? He didn't die with money, I don't believe, but how they how they did him. That was one of the reasons that Muhammad Ali probably didn't enter the draft neither, but how they did Joe Louis. He fought for his country and they still disrespected him. You can just keep going on and on throughout this sport. You know what I'm saying? Hagler was still that nigga. Sugar Ray Leonard still him. Thomas Hearns could still do a pop-up and beat him. They can still get money. They still do things locally to get money because they legends. They're household syndicated names. You can't name me too many superstars. Roberto Duran ain't got to pay for shit in Panama. He's a living legend. The government takes care of him. He's a literally living legend. He's doing great. Think about that for a minute. And these are just fighters I can think off the top of my head. Mayweather will always be able to come back and get money. Oscar would always be able to come back, do something in boxing, in business, because he's the golden boy, and get some money. He's a household name. You don't have those no more. That shit is dead. Canelo might be the last guy left that can get some money. Put his name on something. Oh, we want you to put your name on this, get some money. So that shit is dead. At least in America. That shit is dead. Michael Jordan will always be able to get some money. LeBron James will always be able to get some money. Jerry Rice will always be able to get some money. Joe Theismann will always be able to come and do a foot commercial. Joe Montana will always be able to get some money. Even Bo Jackson, he will always be able to do an interview, get some money. Barry Sanders will always be able to do some things and get some money. You know what I'm saying? We can just go on and on. When you establish yourself as a name, as a star, as a name, you could be able to get some money. Denzel be able to always go. Denzel want to do Tubi movies, he get top Tubi movie money if he want to. Samuel Jackson roll out of bed, get some money. Go down there and do a Capital One commercial. It's certain people who make, and they know household names in boxing. You only become a household name in boxing by doing legendary shit. And yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard came out, was a gold medalist. Everybody loved him in America, but he still had to stamp his name as a professional fighter. And he did that. Countless classics. Him and Roberto Duran 2 times. Him and Thomas Hearns. Him and Marvin Hagler. Him going up fighting Donnie Lalonde and being a 175-pound champion, 68-pound champion with one fight. We can go on and on. Even him getting beat up by Hector Camacho. Boots and Andrade is wild. He said they don't respect black people in boxing from fans to other sports. The black people in boxing don't respect black people. I can tell you from fighter to media, ain't no respect there. Media to fighter, them niggas don't really respect them goofy ass niggas neither, bro. He said CJ, I was bogus. I agree. Shakur, our hands already hurting. He said boxing is the ultimate I need advantage sport. Yeah, it do. It ain't no different than being in the street. Nigga pick up a trash can, pick up a stick, pick up a pole. Ain't no different, but let me get out of here, man. Appreciate y'all. Stay black, don't do crack.